Okay, so quickly, I'm going to, it's a new tool that's out. A lot of you AI geeks out there will probably have heard of this one. It's Notebook LM, and it's been produced by Google. It's powered by Google Gemini, and it focuses on sort of creating notebooks on just specific sources that you uploaded to the notebook itself. Okay, and those there can be documents, links, or media like YouTube videos. For each notebook, you can upload 50 sources, so it's a vast amount of information in there, and I'll show you what it looks like in a moment. Within that source, you can, believe it or not, it's 500,000 words per source. I'm not sure about that, but in essence, you could what it says is that you could load up a whole book and ask it questions. So if you had an audio book or whatever, you could put it in there, and then basically you can use it as a sort of a teaching tool. Each file, 200 meg, so it's ideal for students and teachers and researchers alike, and it creates personalized learning as well. So it will create you a sort of a study plan of those sources that you've put into it. At the moment, it is experimental. There's no app for it. It's only on the web. And because of that, obviously, Google says, you know, whatever it dishes out, you've got to look at it very carefully to make sure it's correct and the sort of outcome it's going to give you. Don't use your college login for this. It's on Google, so you'll be using your own personal Google account for this. So it, as I say, it interacts with sources. And it creates sort of a notebook guide, and within that guide, you can quickly produce FAQs, frequently asked questions, study guides, and the best bit that I like, that I've been going on about, is the podcast. There's a chat area as well, so just like ChatGPT, you can ask it questions. You can create even a lesson plan, that sort of thing. So you interact with it just like you would do with those other AI tools. You can create your own notes as well, in conjunction with the ones it's created, and you can add that to the list of sources. And you can create a briefing document, which gives you basically a brief overview. I say the fun bit is the podcast. It says 10 minutes there. You can. I've just produced one. It was 17 minutes long. So. But the idea is that the podcast, it's going to give you, those auditory learners, something to listen to on the go. You're on the bus, and it works really well. I mean, the outcomes I've had are absolutely fantastic. So let me just share. Oopsie daisy. Sorry about that. 1 second. Just include. I always forget. I don't share my sound very often. What a shame. For some reason, it's not letting me share the sound. Bear 1 second. Let me just see if I can just get it going. Typical. I don't know why. Let's try this. Boom. Bear with me. Success. Right, so let me just share my screen. Okay, so you log in with Notebook LM here. It's a Google login. So you're logging in with your account. And what it looks like is this. So basically, I've done lots of experimenting at the moment. So I've got lots of things there. You probably can see Michelle Fletcher there. But just quickly, how you create these notes, just press Create New. But I've got one already set up on climate change. So I've basically add in your sources here. So I've got a video on climate change. I've got a BBC News article on climate change. I'm going to add a PDF to that. So I'll click the plus and I choose my source. Just click that. Go straight down to the bottom there. This is a government paper on climate change. I'll just open that up. Okay, and that's going to go into the rack of sources. Hopefully, I did load it up earlier. There you go. It's gone in there now. So at the bottom, it's going to give me some ideas for questions. How do rising temperatures affect permafrost and its circumstances? I don't know about that. If you just click the notebook guide, it's going to give you a summary of all of these guides here, of all the sources. So a quick one, you can just do a frequently asked questions, and it's going to give me some questions and answers to ask myself or even students for that matter. If I just click in the notebook guide again, it's going to give me those some quick fire questions here. I'm going to put in how can we combat climate change? Climate change in the UK. Okay, and just as a prompt, and I can ask it that question. So what it's going to do now is look at that, those sources, and just those sources, not going out to the large language model at all. This is all quite specific, just on those sources. And there you go. So it's given us that already. So it's given us how an answer to that question, and if we like, and we can save that as a note. So we've got 2 notes to sort of go ongoing. We can also add our own notes. So if we want to write something in here, it's just a simple note-taking pad. But we can also add, once we've written this note on what we've sort of seen and got from these, what AI has produced, we can add it to, again, these sources. And likewise, in this note here, we can generate this deep dive conversation. Just for a bit of fun, and it takes a little bit of a while to generate that. But what we'll do, if we just go over to something I've already done, I'll go on to Michelle's thing, because it's quite, I'm sure this is something that Michelle's already produced for the college, and it was basically a welcome message to new staff coming into the college. So I've used the piece of audio from that video. It's given me a sort of a brief, it's given me some takeaways and themes here. But most importantly, it's given me something that I can listen to, this podcast. If I go into the notebook guide again, it's already loaded up. And let's just quickly here for two seconds.
Let's jump into this new adventure, shall we? We're taking a deep dive today into, well, you starting fresh at Manchester College.
Exciting.
Yeah. New staff member at the UK's biggest FE college. That's a big deal.
Huge.
So to, give us the rundown, we've got a welcome message here from Michelle Fletcher, VP of Quality herself.
Ooh, fancy.
Right. Let's see what she's got to say.
This is going to be good. Having a message straight from the VP of Quality is like a direct line to what TMC is all about, their values and all.
Absolutely, yeah, getting the inside perspective. So Michelle starts off, and she's talking about how rewarding being part of the TMC team is, how much you get out of the work. She seems really big on professional development too, which I've got to say, caught my eye.
Oh, for sure. And it's not just like a vague, we encourage growth kind.
Okay, so you get the idea. As I say, it's really engaging, the podcast that it produces. It is American, unfortunately. It's not in English accents at the moment. There are some other tools out there. There's another one called Play AI, which you can actually synthesize your own voice, and it has got some English accents on it. But I think as a sort of a quick takeaway, it's a free tool. It's absolutely fantastic. I say I've done a lot more podcasts. I did one. There was one that I've produced here on nuclear fission and the UK's role in nuclear power, and you can just sit there listening to it for about 15 minutes. It gives you a great overview. So it's a great tool, and that's about it. Thank you.